But what good is salt if it has lost its flavor? Can you make it salty again? It will be thrown out and trampled underfoot as worthless. You are the light of the world, like a city on a hilltop that cannot be hidden. No one lights a lamp and then puts it under a basket. Instead, a lamp is placed on a stand where it gives light to everyone in the house. In the same way, let your good deeds shine out for all to see, so that everyone will praise your heavenly Father. Don't misunderstand why I have come. I did not come to abolish the law of Moses or the writings of the prophets. No, I came to accomplish their purpose. I tell you the truth, until heaven and earth disappear, not even the smallest detail of God's law will disappear until its purpose is achieved. So if you ignore the least commandment and teach others to do the same, you will be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. But anyone who obeys God's laws and teaches them will be called great in the kingdom of heaven. But I warn you, unless your righteousness is better than that of the teachers of the religious law and the Pharisees, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven. May God bless us in the reading of his word.
Academy Awards will be taking place, and we'll get to see which actors achieve the Best Actor Award for this year's film and which actress will achieve the Best Award for Best Actress of the Year in a film. It kind of reminds me of roles that made certain people stars before they maybe even earned an Academy Award nomination. Many of them had these roles of a lifetime that really launched their careers and made them the stars that we have come to know them of. So let me give you some examples of this. Back in the 1970s was a film called The Deer Hunter. And in that film starred Meryl Streep. It was the role of a lifetime for her because it launched her as a star for even. Denzel Washington was a television star in Elsewhere. But it was the movie Cry Freedom that launched his acting career as a movie actor and eventually led him to greater things. He was also nominated for a Supporting Actor Award in that film. Farther back, Marlon Brando starred as Stanley Kowalski in A Streetcar Named Desire. That was a role of a lifetime for him that helped launch his career. Then there was a film you may remember as The Godfather. That film actually launched 3 careers in a lifetime. Al Pacino, James Caan, and Robert Duvall made stardom because of this film. There was a role of a lifetime for all 3 of them. Actors roles that made them stars, roles of a lifetime. And we have many roles that we play throughout our lives. We are the role of a friend to those around us in our circle, play the role of a neighbor to those that live around us. Live out the role of an employee or an employer. Or maybe we live out the role of being a good citizen. There are many roles that we play. We have those roles of a lifetime that some of us are able to play. For example, being a husband or a wife is a role of a lifetime. Being a parent and a grandparent is a role of a lifetime. A role of a lifetime. All these and others are crucial roles whose importance cannot be overestimated because they are crucial in the life of others. Important. In our gospel, it tells us of additional roles that cannot be overestimated, crucial roles that are played by his followers. What are these roles? These are the roles of salt and light. He says to his followers, as he says to us, his modern day followers, are the salt of the earth, are the light of the world. Now notice he doesn't say, if you do such and such, you can be the salt of the earth, or you can be the light of the world. No, he goes and he says to us, you are the salt of the earth. You are the light of the world. Of who we are in him. And it is a commissioning of what we are to be. Know about salt. Know how important it is for our diet and for our taste buds. Know that on average, the average American takes in 12,000 milligrams of salt a day, or this translates to 266 salt shaker. Imagine if your doctor puts you on a restricted salt diet, how much you're going to miss that when you get a salt shaker that much. I mean, these are salts that are already in food as well as the salt that we add, but salt is significant to us. Enjoy our salt. It's indispensable to good food. It sharpens the flavors and the aromas of the food. Certain foods, it has other qualities. For example, in cheese, it helps the ripening of cheese. And for meat, it helps preserve meat. So it's a very valuable commodity. Salt. The world needs salt. It says to you and me, are the salt. Light is also very important. The homes that people lived in Palestine were fairly dark. The only window they had was probably about an 18-inch window. That's the only light that came into that house unless they had the door open. So they needed a lamp all day long. The lamp was essential. And the lamps were difficult to light. They didn't have matches where they could go continuously. Left the light on continuously. The family was asleep or out, they put it that it wouldn't spread and create some kind of fire should it properly. When the family was at home and awake, the lamp was placed on a part of the house so that it could shed light to all the corners of the house. Daytime, nighttime, that lamp was always on. Thus, you are the light of the world. Rob McCoy pastors a United Methodist church in Illinois. And his congregation was performing the musical Godspell for them. And in the musical Godspell, there's a song called You Are the Light of the World. The actor playing Jesus went out into the audience while they're singing the song, You Are the Light of the World, and he came in front of somebody and had that person stand up while the cast sang to that person, You Are the Light of the World. Then they went to another person in the audience, had that person stand up as Jesus and the rest of the cast sang to this one, You Are the City of God. Then this Jesus character went to another person in the audience and had that person stand up and said, well, after the show, the woman the cast had sang to approached the pastor, saying that she enjoyed the show. She told the pastor that she had a poster of the show, original Broadway show, up in her room. She had an album of the music, although she had never played it. When she read about this play being performed, said how much she enjoyed seeing it because she had never seen it, how happy she was that she came. The next day, the head usher and the pastor were talking about the play, and the pastor had spoken to him after the performance. The head usher said, "Yeah, like she was looking for something." So I went over to her and I said, kind of laughed, and she said that no one ever called you the salt of the earth? Not the kind of salt that Tom was talking about. Has anyone ever called you the light of the world? Calling both you and me salt and light. And maybe we laugh a bit nervously at this because those seem such like you are the salt of the earth. You are the light of the world. You might not think that we have much to add to the lives of others, but Jesus says differently. Salt. You know that salt is valuable. It adds salt. The salt adds flavor to food. I've talked to enough people on a diet where they didn't have regular salt, know that they miss it. I dread the thought of someday missing salt. It adds flavor to food, and even though you might have a salt supplement and they're maybe getting better all the time, it's still not quite the same. Our salt. Salt was actually a currency in some cultures. In fact, some of the first roads that were built to transport other levied on salt. And there were military campaigns that were waged in order to light is also valuable. How we value sunlight. I don't know about you, but this time of year is very hard on me. When it's dark out so early and when we don't see sunshine for many days, and even though it might be 0 out, if the sun is shining, my spirits soar. Cloudy, overcast days. Light is important. Value the street lights that make it look. Value the lamps on our vehicles that help us see the road. Value the lights in our homes that light up our house. And we value the campfires that we might go to that not only warm us, but give light to the dark nights. Value that salt and light have are the salt of the earth. You are the light of the world. You're valuable. You're important. You have purpose. However, salt that and light that fails to use its property to make a difference. As salt and light, we're to add flavor. We're to shine brightly. Now, there are so many ways to be salt and light. Help a neighbor in need. Salt and light. We can visit someone who is homebound. That's being salt and light. We can help at a meal program, or at a shelter. We can donate food and clothes. So many different ways. I was in a pharmacy just before I came, and shocked at the cost. And you know, sometimes we go into a store and maybe we're shocked at the price of something, or maybe we're not treated the way we think we should be treated. It might be very easy to respond that we're not the best salt and we're not the best light. But in those situations where we might want to lash out, or we might want to show our emotions in an inappropriate way, all kinds of situations like that, light. Salt and light for us is being involved in hands-on of our financial contributions to help others. Sometimes it's working with an organization to bring about change. For example, one of our community organizations that's that includes both Catholics and Protestants is they're concerned about issues in our day, such as transportation. Salt and light are limitless. Part of the lectionary comes from Isaiah chapter 58. The prophet says to us, clothes to those who need them. Not hide from relatives who need your help. Light will shine out from the darkness. Darkness around you will be might be a new challenge for us as we think of outside of our church doors, to be salt outside of our church door. During a Saturday night church service in Ontario, thunderstorm unleashed a bolt of lightning that plunged the church in darkness. The pastor felt his way to got out the candles that were used on Christmas Eve, brought all those candles into the almost looking like Christmas Eve. Then the congregation made its way out to see what was going on outside. And they noticed that there were sheets of rain, very dark, and they saw traffic jams, traffic headaches there, running from shelter from the rain. One of the members writes that darkness where we stood, but a little band of Christians, each not sure whether to venture out into the storm by the church. thought struck this, realized what it meant to be the light. It occurred to me then that this is the temptation. A lot harder to venture out. What we are called to do as salt and light. Out. Have an impact. One thing for us to be called salt and light, which we are. Nothing will take that away. Quite another to be the kind of salt and light that live as salt and light is a call to action. About our identity as followers. That leaves us with some questions for today. How much flavor are you and I adding to our world? How much light are we shining in our community? What might be some new ways salt of the earth, light of the world? There were some other actors and actresses that had some roles of a lifetime. John Connerly played Dr. No. Launched him in that. Whoopi Goldberg as Celie in The Color Purple saw that as a role of a lifetime that helped. Robert Redford played also have roles of a lifetime. Not for stardom, rather they are simply to play a part are salts of the earth, are the light